So joining us today, Congressman Marlin Stutzman. He is a Republican from the great state of Indiana with us tonight once again. First off, good on you. Thank you for doing this. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We opened it up for anyone to ask, and as it turned out, the first question is from within your district. Here's Gary from Indiana. He says, as one of your constituents in the 3rd District, how do you explain to retail workers who are near or below the federal poverty line how the increased costs of fuel at the pump are benefiting them when President Trump states that the rise in per barrel price makes us, quote, a lot of money? The reference there to what the president had said recently.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I mean, it does affect the pocketbook. There's no doubt about it. And we've saw that over the past 5 years with higher gas prices since President Trump has come into office. He's opened up the oil fields. The production has increased. In fact, there was a big lease that was just done up in Alaska today. That was one of the largest that Alaska has seen ever. And so I think that President Trump he knows this, but he also knew that the volatility was going to come after the strikes in Iran. And so it's going to be temporary, just like the vice president said this morning. But I think that in the long run, we might see prices even lower because there'll be less volatility in the Middle East. But it's going to take some time with the changes that are coming to Iran.
Does it sell, though, saying it's going to take some time, maybe it's going to be lower, when Americans right now are just saying, man, and they're driving down, the streets and seeing the signs right in front of their face?
It is. I mean, I think that we all feel like, whatever the gas prices are, that's kind of how the economy is going. And we've been getting fortunate and kind of, lucky to have these lower gas prices again. Everything else seemed to be through the roof over the past several years with inflation, but production has increased, and so that's brought the price of gas down. I think that you're going to only see more production, and if the Straits of Hormuz is stable and that we can get the gas and oil out of the Persian Gulf, that's going to help the global markets, which will bring our prices back down.
All right, let me take you out to Nick from Colorado. He says, why are we spending, we got a lot of questions, obviously, about the Middle East and the war.
Yeah.
Why are we spending $2 billion a day on a war on the other side of the planet when we have 700,000 homeless Americans and numerous other domestic problems? It gets to the question of why this and not focus on our backyard.
Yeah, well, again, I mean, I don't know about those, the numbers in Northeast Indiana. Indiana is a strong state business-wise. We're seeing growth. I'm seeing more growth in Indiana than I think I've seen in my lifetime. And so, but again, this goes back to the question of why Iran? Well, Iran was developing a nuclear weapon. I think we've all known that. And people say, well, this is the start of a war. I think it's the end of a war. We have been dealing with Iran for 40 years. In 1979, when the Ayatollah took over, the Shah steps down, immediately they take American hostages. They have killed over 1,000 Americans over a 40-year span. If that would happen on one day, we would all expect us to be doing what we're doing now. President Trump gave them a chance, get rid of the nuclear program, but then they didn't, so he took in the bunker busters last summer, took that out, gave them a chance to negotiate some more. This is where we're at. They decided that they're going to continue their nuclear program, and I think that this is taking the head of the snake off.
Question from Cynthia in Connecticut. She said, I read in the news that the DOD, or Department of War, has their fiscal year budget as a use it or lose it. Wouldn't it be more prudent for Congress to have the money roll over into the next fiscal year rather than go forward on a forced spending spree with American taxpayer money? Congress appropriates every year.
Yes.
Right? And so that's the quote-unquote use it or lose it. But I think she's getting at the point, first off, if you could answer her question, but on this concept of needing to spend money. Yes. We just hit $39 trillion in our national debt just yesterday.
She's right. I mean, I come from the business world, agriculture and manufacturing, and this whole idea, I mean, I've got friends in the military. They are told if they don't spend their budgeted money, they're going to lose it, and so the incentive is to spend it. And some of them say, like, I don't want to spend it. I want to be able to roll it over, be responsible with taxpayer dollars. That's a whole mindset that needs to come about in government, period. There's too much of that at the federal level, state level, and even at the local level. Let's start giving an incentive to, if you save money, you get rewarded somehow. There's ways to do this, and I think she's exactly right.
Carrie from just down the road from us in Maryland. We're seeing the scenes at airports across the country as there's this funding battle for the Department of Homeland Security, and TSA is caught up in the middle of it. Why is Congress being paid when TSA isn't? It's time for them to give up their paychecks and pay hard workers.
Yeah, well, she's right again. I mean, I would say that, we have to ask the Democrat Party. I mean, Republicans in the House, we have passed DHS funding, especially at a time when we know that the world is a dangerous place, especially with the strikes in Iran. We know people came across the border.
But at this point, people don't care. Like they just want, they don't care about Democrats or Republicans. They just don't want to go to the airport in a 3-hour line.
Yeah.
And for these TSA workers, I mean, we just showed a stat: 11 every single day are quitting because they're saying, I'd rather have another job.
Yeah, I personally, as a House member, I don't have a vote in this, but in the Senate, we need to move past the filibuster rule. I mean, I believe that's part of the problem. Is you can hold up the opposition party, you can hold up the majority party, and not let votes happen, and simply just make life difficult because of a filibuster rule. I think Republicans should move past it, past the DHS funding, and say we're moving forward governing because the American people gave us a 53-seat majority in the Senate. They expect Republicans to govern.
All right, we'll leave it there. Marlon Stutzman, again, answering your questions in studio with us tonight. Appreciate it.